Have you ever stopped to consider the dwindling numbers of rhinos in the wild today? It's not something that crosses our minds often, but it's a question that carries a heavy weight. The rhino, a majestic creature, a symbol of strength and resilience, is facing a crisis. Over the past century, we've seen a drastic decline in their numbers. From the vast herds that roamed the African and Asian landscapes, we are now down to just a few thousand. The reason? A combination of rampant poaching and loss of habitat. Let's consider the black rhino, for instance. In the 1970s, there were around 65,000 black rhinos. Fast forward to today and we're looking at a count that's less than 5,000. That's more than a 90% drop in less than 50 years. On the Asian front, the Javan and Sumatran rhinos are teetering on the brink of extinction, with fewer than 100 individuals of each species remaining. The Indian rhino, while not as critically endangered, is still under severe threat with around 3,500 left in the wild. Poaching is the primary threat to these magnificent creatures. Their horns, made of keratin, the same substance as our hair and nails, are falsely believed to have medicinal properties in some cultures. This has led to a relentless demand, driving up the price of rhino horn to exceed that of gold. Loss of habitat is another significant threat. As human populations expand, forests are being cleared, grasslands are being converted to farmland, leaving the rhinos with less and less room to roam. The plight of the rhino is a stark reminder of the impact we humans have on our fellow inhabitants of this planet. It's a complex issue with no easy solutions, but it's crucial that we understand the gravity of the situation. The rhinos are in a dire situation, but how did we get here? To understand the rhino's plight, we need to delve into the history of rhino hunting. This tale is as old as humanity itself, beginning with early humans who hunted rhinos for subsistence. Back then, it wasn't just about the thrill of the hunt, it was survival. Rhino meat provided sustenance, and their hides were used for shelter and clothing. As societies evolved, so did the reasons for hunting rhinos. In the Middle Ages, rhino horns were coveted as trophies, symbols of wealth and power. This marked a shift from necessity to vanity, and sadly, the rhinos paid the price. Fast forward to the 19th century, during the era of colonial expansion when hunting became a sport for the elite. The advent of modern firearms made it easier to bring down these majestic beasts, leading to a significant decline in their numbers. The 20th century, however, brought a new and more dangerous threat: poaching for rhino horn. Believed to have medicinal properties in some cultures and used for ornamental purposes in others, the demand for rhino horn skyrocketed. Despite the lack of scientific evidence supporting these claims, illegal hunting escalated, pushing the rhino closer to the brink of extinction. The impact of this hunting on rhino populations has been catastrophic. Once roaming freely across Africa and Asia, rhinos are now confined to protected reserves and zoos. Some species, like the western black rhino, have already been declared extinct, while others teeter precariously on the edge. Rhino hunting, whether for subsistence, sport, or illegal trade, has left an indelible mark on these magnificent creatures. It's a story of human greed and ignorance, a story that has cost us much more than we can ever quantify. Rhino hunting has left a devastating impact, but what's the real cost? As we venture further into this exploration, we will uncover the true toll of this loss, not just on rhinos, but on our world and on ourselves. The cost of rhino hunting goes beyond just the loss of these majestic creatures. Let's dive deeper into this issue and consider the ecological and ethical consequences that come with it. Rhinos are not just awe-inspiring giants of the wilderness. They play a critical role in maintaining the ecological balance of their habitats. They are, in essence, the gardeners of our ecosystems. By grazing on vegetation and knocking over saplings, they help control the vegetation growth, shaping the landscape for other species. When we lose a rhino, we lose a part of the ecosystem's equilibrium. Moreover, rhinos are crucial in nutrient cycling. Their dung serves as a rich source of nutrients for the soil, promoting plant growth. In addition, their wallowing behavior creates water holes, providing hydration spots for other smaller creatures. The ripple effects of their loss can be devastating. It can lead to overgrowth of certain plant species, which may outcompete others, leading to a decrease in biodiversity. This imbalance can then cascade through the food chain, affecting herbivores and predators alike. But the cost of rhino hunting isn't only ecological, it's also a matter of ethics. Hunting these creatures for sport or profit raises significant ethical questions. Is it right to kill a sentient being for entertainment or financial gain? Especially when that being is a key part of an ecosystem and is on the brink of extinction. Rhinos have been on this planet for millions of years. They've survived the Ice Age, but now they're struggling to survive us. Each rhino hunted is one step closer to the extinction of an entire species. But let's not forget the human cost. Rhino hunting often fuels illegal activities and violence, tarnishing communities and destabilizing regions. It's a vicious cycle of destruction, with rhinos at the center. The loss of the rhinos is a loss for us all, but there's hope. As we move forward, it's crucial that we understand the true cost of rhino hunting and strive to protect these magnificent creatures for the generations to come. Despite the grim outlook, many dedicated individuals and organizations are working tirelessly to save the rhinos. In the face of adversity, humanity's capacity for compassion and action shines the brightest. Around the globe, conservationists, researchers, and even ordinary citizens are rolling up their sleeves and diving headlong into the fight to protect our rhino populations. One of the front lines in this battle is the fight against poaching. Anti-poaching initiatives have made significant strides, employing cutting-edge technology and dedicated ranger teams to safeguard rhino habitats. Infrared cameras, drones, and GPS tracking devices are just a few of the tools being used to monitor rhino movements and deter poachers. The bravery and dedication of these rangers cannot be overstated. They are the guardians of these majestic creatures, often risking their lives to ensure their safety. But the fight doesn't stop there. Habitat restoration projects are also key to the survival of the rhinos. As human encroachment continues to shrink their natural habitats, efforts to restore and protect these areas have become increasingly crucial. From reforestation efforts to the establishment of protected reserves, these initiatives provide a safe haven where rhinos can thrive away from the threats posed by human activities. Breeding programs also play a critical role in rhino conservation. By carefully managing the breeding of rhinos in captivity, these programs aim to increase their numbers and, in the long run, reintroduce them into the wild. These programs have seen some remarkable success stories, with baby rhinos being born in environments where they can be nurtured and protected. It's not all doom and gloom. There are glimmers of hope, stories of triumph against the odds that inspire us to continue this important work. Every rhino saved, every habitat restored, and every poacher deterred is a victory in this ongoing battle. These efforts are making a difference, but they need our help. Let's remember, the fight for rhino conservation is not just the responsibility of a select few. It's a cause that needs all hands on deck. Together, we can ensure that these magnificent creatures continue to roam our planet for generations to come. You might be wondering, how can I help save the rhinos? Well, there's good news. There are numerous ways you can contribute to the conservation of these magnificent creatures, and it starts right at your doorstep. One of the most direct ways to help is by supporting organizations that are actively involved in rhino conservation. These groups work tirelessly to protect rhino habitats, rehabilitate injured animals, and combat poaching. By making a donation, you're providing essential resources that enable these organizations to continue their vital work. But contributing to rhino conservation isn't just about financial donations. It's also about spreading awareness. Start a conversation with your friends, family, or social media followers about the plight of the rhinos. Educate them about the devastating effects of rhino hunting and the importance of conservation efforts. The more people know about these issues, the more pressure we can put on policymakers to enact stronger protections for rhinos. Another significant way to contribute is through your consumer choices. The demand for rhino horn products is one of the primary drivers of rhino hunting. By refusing to purchase these items, you're directly reducing the demand for rhino horns. Additionally, support businesses that are committed to sustainable practices and don't contribute to the exploitation of rhinos. Finally, consider volunteering your time. Many conservation organizations welcome volunteers who are willing to assist in their efforts. This could involve anything from administrative tasks to hands-on field work, depending on your skills and interests. While these might seem like small steps, they have a significant impact when we all do our part. Rhino conservation is a collective effort. It requires each of us to take responsibility and make choices that protect these incredible animals. Remember, every effort counts. Together, we can ensure a future for rhinos.